It's Fireball last year, and I'm here with.
Hi, I'm Alex Rochon. You might know me as the former autarch. You can follow me on Twitter at Alex Rochon VA. And
This is episode 1 of the interview show. Now, okay, first question: how did you get started in the countdown community? Like, who did anybody inspire you, or something like that?
well, I made my first countdown when I was 14. It was a text countdown on Windows Movie Maker, and in terms of my inspirations for that, I guess, I'd seen stuff like Screw Attack. I'd seen a few people on YouTube make similar text countdowns before me, and just even then, for whatever reason, I'd always kind of listed my favorite music and stuff from games, even before I was doing countdowns on YouTube. It was just something weird that I did.
How did you meet Josh Scorcher? Where did you guys first met?
Well, I think the first time I ever noticed Josh was he was a regular YouTube commenter on my work.
Okay.
Back in the day, 2008.
Okay.
And eventually I noticed he was doing videos of his own. I forget how I found it. But I noticed that, our opinions were pretty similar in a lot of cases. Although he thinks that he kind of, took a little inspiration, ripping a few ideas from my work. But it was just I didn't care because it was someone who was into the same things that I was, and it was a new contact, a new friend. It was just a new experience, and just from there it grew and grew. We messaged each other a lot more, and eventually we did our first collab together, and then in 2012 I got the chance to meet him at, there was a convention in 2012 called Con Bravo. It's still going on. It's a lovely convention, one of my favorites. And we had found out that a lot of our favorite people, like Doug Walker, James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, Linkara, and Spoonie, were going to be there. So I was like, Josh, this is happening in Canada, and I think it would also be excellent, if you came down here, it would be excellent so you could see this, and so we could meet, and so we can potentially help film something for my countdowns as well. So it was too perfect an opportunity for Josh to ignore, I think. So we met up there, and the rest is history. Although the first time I actually spoke with Josh in person, despite having met him in 2008, was in 2011 when I was in my university dorm room.
Okay, cool. Now, who's your favorite channel awesome producer? Can you list your top 3 or top 5?
Favorite channel awesome producers? Some of them are no longer part of the site, but I like Kyle Colgren's work.
Okay.
He does Brows Held High and Between the Lines.
Mm-hmm.
He did this really good, before The Force Awakens was released, he did a shot-by-shot mini-movie about Star Wars without showing any clips from Star Wars, and I thought that was really creative. So I've always liked his stuff, and he's still consistently quite good. Linkara I watch sometimes. He's pretty cool. We talk every so often at Con Bravo. Apart from that, Some Jerk with a Camera I watch as well. But apart from that, I don't really watch too many right now, at least with any regularity.
You don't watch Nostalgia Critic anymore?
Oh, I watch the Nostalgia Critic, sure, and still, that's just I was just going for the less obvious ones, I guess.
Okay. What do you think of the Blockbuster Buster? Do you watch him sometimes, or?
I watched him sometimes. I think he's all right.
Okay. What's your favorite collab to do, with Josh or anybody else?
My favorite collab with Josh. Well, that kind of are you talking about because I'm helping him write his videos as well now?
No, I mean countdowns.
Or in terms of countdowns, the last one we did in terms of countdowns was top 10 set. Oh wait, no.
It was top 15. It was
Worst
top
cliches. that was it. That was a blast to shoot. We had so much fun, like, just shooting the crap together, like, we had so many fun bloopers. Like, it was a lot of fun to record with him and Anthony, Chewy. So, I would definitely say that was my favorite. I'd also say it holds up the best out of all of them.
Do you talk with Chewy now and then again, or do you still talk with each other, or no, not that much?
Like, well, he's really busy a lot of the time because he's a U of T engineer, and so we aren't always able to get together, like, but because he's so busy a lot of the time. But we're still very close friends, and I actually made a funny Twitter exchange with him this morning. So. Yeah.
If you want to do like any collab with anybody else besides like Josh and Chewy or whatever, like anybody like from like Channel Awesome or Screw Attack, who would you want to do it with? Like in terms of like a review, not a countdown, because I know you're retired from that now.
In terms of reviewers, I really can't answer that question because I don't really consider myself part of the circuit anymore. But like.
Because Josh said he wants to do like a couple reviews with the Nostalgia Critic.
Yes. I'm just like, I really don't know if I'd work with any myself, but like, I think a lot of the people that are like my favorites. Although I will say this, they're not really a reviewer or a countdown maker, but I don't know what Did You Know Gaming has ever done.
Yeah.
But if they ever did any, like, if they hadn't done something like, I'm sure they have to have done something for Kid Icarus, but if I did,
they didn't, you would have jumped right into it.
If they did something like that, I could. I mean, like, they do part 2 and stuff as well. And actually, a friend of mine, Sam, known as Kitsune Hawk on Twitter.
Oh wow, I follow him.
I believe he actually had a gig for a while. Writing some scripts for Did You Know Gaming. So, I don't know, like, that's just something I've been thinking about. I don't know if it would ever come to pass. Although, speaking of Sam, I'd love to do another episode of character development with him.
Okay.
Because I really love that show. I think it's a great concept, educational, interesting, and just, I think, like, Sam really loves educating people, so if he had anything that he thinks I would be good for, I would love to do that.
Okay, can you do the countdown on motorcycle thing, please?
Countdowns on motorcycles.
Thanks. Anyway, do you have any like bad movies that you really don't want to watch again? Because for me, it's Battle Royale. I really can't stand Battle Royale.
The movie that, like, I guess my 2 least favorite movies I've ever seen were Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, which just I thought was ridiculously unfunny.
Java Booth killing Starscream. Not cool, dude. Not cool.
Wasn't that in Dark of the Moon, though?
Oh, yeah.
And, what's it called? Although the thing is with Revenge of the Fallen, I at least kind of feel something when I watch it. Like, when I watch Man of Steel, though, for instance, I just feel nothing. It's just, I think, if you like any movie, that's absolutely fine. I just really didn't get anything good from Man of Steel. Even in the scene that I kind of liked, when Superman flies, they still felt the need to give, like, Christopher Nolan's cliche, like, you must make him an ideal thing. And I just thought that kind of killed the mood for me. So, if you get something from it, that's great. Like, I know a lot of people who do, like Angry Joe, for instance. He loves it. But, yeah, since then I haven't seen any of the new DC movies, so it kind of set a bad precedent for me, I guess.
What would you do if you have your own version of Dr. Insano from, like, the Spoonie Experiment?
Pardon?
What would you do if you have your own Dr. Insano from the Spoonie Experiment?
Well, I guess, like, I would never have my own, like, direct XP, but I did enjoy playing a mad scientist briefly in, I don't know if you saw the collab I did with Josh for the Mystery on the Friendship Express from My Little Pony.
Yeah,
That was... Okay, funny thing, like, At the time I recorded that review, I was living on my university campus with several housemates, and they were all upstairs at the time, and I think some of them were even playing flute. Like, I was friends with I was roommates with a lot of music majors, and during that, I was obviously very loud during that review, so I think I might have legitimately scared them. So it was kind of funny.
Okay.
But just the mad scientist part was a lot of fun. I had fun writing that part too. Die Überkeken.
Okay.
Die Überkeken. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. How is the Fiona fighting game going on? Are you still continuing it? How many percent of it done?
Unfortunately, we lost our programmer.
Why? Did he lose interest?
Busy.
Oh.
He was too busy, and we're currently looking for new ones. We haven't given up on the project at all. We've got too much going on. We have too much artwork and ideas for it, and we're not giving up. So I would love to see it come to fruition. I think we're just gonna have to wait a bit longer.
Do you play Overwatch or something?
No, I don't play Overwatch. I actually don't play many competitive shooters myself. I don't know, it's just... Although I do play Guns of Icarus every so often.
Oh.
But I have heard Overwatch is fantastic, and my girlfriend and I have been interested in getting it at some point.
I just got it. The EB Game Booth, they have it on sale for $65. It's $15 less.
Oh, all right. I'll have to tell my girlfriend about that.
Cause I saw the Josh's countdown for top 10 characters, characters spin off of League of Legends, and I saw the portrait at the end with that Zane made with him,
yes.
Lily, Inkros, Josh, and you, and that got me wondering. I know Josh and Inkros played League, and so did Lily because. Originally with Jerry, but you already know what happened. Do you play League or no?
Okay, funny story about that. I've only played League once.
Oh.
So it was years ago when I played League for the first time, and I was playing it with a few of my school friends. One of them was a gigantic troll, and the learning curve in League, even according to Josh, is really bad. And especially if you're a lower level and you've got high level friends playing with you, and the troll friend just repeatedly killed me all the time, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just had no fun playing it. So if you enjoy League, that's great. It's that kind of game, RTSs just aren't for me.
It's a MOBA, not RTS. RTS is like StarCraft.
Oh, well, fair enough. They just seem mildly similar, though I probably don't know all the niceties of it.
Now, if there's one crossover you want to see, what would it be and why? And don't say Star Trek versus Star Wars. Everybody wants to see that. It's too obvious.
Crossover I would like to see. I feel these are never gonna happen, but I feel Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty would be kind of fun because their creators know each other.
Didn't Alex Rochon say they were in the same universe?
Yes. There's a thing in Gravity Falls where something gets knocked into a portal, and then you see that thing in a portal in Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So,
good time.
That was always really creative. Another I'd like to see is Gravity Falls and Steven Universe, even though this is really impossible because one's Disney and one is Cartoon Network.
I love Steven Universe.
Steven Universe is my favorite, it's my favorite animated show on television now.
What do you think of Star Wars: The Force of Evil?
I've never seen it. I've heard it's really good, though.
It's really funny. I watched the entirety of season 1 and part of season 2. It's on a delay now, so maybe you can try to catch up on it or something.
Okay. I know, my girlfriend loves it, I think. My Josh, I think, even likes it a bit. So, yeah.
Later, fuckers. Although, hey, speaking of Steven Universe, you said on Twitter that Paradise is your favorite gem.
Yes, she is.
Do you have a second and third favorite?
Second favorite, I would probably say, is Garnet. Third favorite, I don't...
I'm trying to do an interview here.
Sorry. second, like,
Sorry,
I
if
don't
you
know.
guys are looking to do an interview, you may want to do it in a different spot because there's a lot that's going to be going on here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Stay tuned for part 2. We're going to be moving for a bit. And we're back. Where were you on, Alex?
Pardon? So we were talking about
Steven Universe, favorite gems.
Yes. So would you count Steven as a gem, even though he's half?
Yeah. Most people
So
could.
I'd say that my 3 favorites are Peridot, Garnet, and Steven then.
Well, my favorite 3 are Amethyst, Lapras, and Pearl.
Ah, nice.
Even like, do you think they're gonna regenerate, like having incorporate the stars on their outfits or something in the future, or no?
I hope so. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
they've been a bit wishy-washy about whether or not Lapis is a crystal gem or not. I don't know if she technically counts as one, though she is on the hero side, so maybe that just counts for that.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think of the relationship between Steven and Connie so far on the show?
It's nice.
I totally ship it. But I mean, in here though, in my brain, not writing it, like
I get it.
inside here.
Like,
It's cute. It's just
I
cute.
like the episodes with Stefani a lot.
Which one? There's like 3 of them. The drag racing
Really,
one.
all of them. Like, although I would say that definitely, like, the latest episode with her was probably one of my favorite episodes. Of the
You mean
entire
Crack the Whip?
series. No, Mindful Education.
Oh, I thought you were referring to Crack the Whip. I like that one.
Crack the Whip was really great too. Just seeing her ride on Lion was cool.
Jousting match.
Yeah. But yeah, Mindful Education was really good too because they both have a lot of baggage, especially poor Steven.
Yeah.
So,
Why? How many times can you tell in a series that people confuse Stephen with Rose? Like, do you keep a mental count or something?
well, I think part of Steven's existential conflict right now is living up to his mother's legacy for one, and then the fact that learning that his mother was effectively a murderer, and 3, the fact that Steven is so empathetic and has converted Peridot to the hero side, converted the entire cluster. He can't do that with most people though. Like he failed with Bismuth, he failed with Jasper, and he failed with Eyeball. So it's like that's a lot of stuff that's weighing on his consciousness that I think is going to be a major part of the next few seasons development.
Yeah. Anyway, do you think that there might be other character combination in the future, like future episodes that might work?
Oh, I'd love to see more. Like,
No, not like fusion. I meant like them interacting with each other, not fusions. I can see the
to see a lot more with
confusion.
Lapis
I can see the confusion. Yeah, me too.
because like she's still very aloof, and I think there's a lot of room for her like learning to, I guess, engage and trust the other gems a bit more. Just getting over like some of the anger she had to the.
Oh yeah, the whole ocean gem thing.
Yeah, and like, I'm not sure how they're gonna handle that, but yeah.
I actually heard a rumor that there wasn't actually an alternate ending to Bismuth where she stopped attacking Steven and actually joined the Crystal Gem. Did you hear anything about that?
No, I haven't, and I actually kind of think it's better the other way because, like I said earlier, like before Bismuth, that was where Steven was still like feeling like he can help anybody. He can change people and just make people stop fighting through empathy. And sometimes, I think that was the first time where he really realized that doesn't work with some people.
Switching focus for a bit on Gravity Falls, like, do you have like a favorite episode of Gravity Falls?
Favorite episode? That
2-parters, 3-parters count.
Weird Mageddon is probably the one that like comes closest to my mind. Although I have to say, I actually watched Gravity Falls for the first time on my now girlfriend's birthday a few years ago, and like my experience with that, like with the first episode, I watched the first episode with her, and I thought it was cute. at first, and then when it gets to the big reveal of the first episode about who the evil boyfriend is, I was just like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
You mean the gnomes? I liked it when he started puking the rainbow.
Yeah, and just like I love how they foreshadowed it, and we just wrote it off as a joke, and then it's like, oh my god, you actually did it! That's hilarious. So like that was really what got me hooked on the show.
Do you have a favorite character?
Favorite character?
It can be a good guy or bad guy. It doesn't matter with me.
Like, I love Grunkle Stan. I love Mabel. I love Seuss, partly because I kind of relate to Seuss a bit. And just, I love Bill. Just, he's evil and twisted and just, like, it's something you really don't see a lot on a kid's show. Like, especially stuff like...
It's like what happened to McPlankton with Discord.
It's like, you don't normally see someone, like, rearranging, like, people's facial structure. Like, that's just weird and creepy. It's like...
Discord did that.
Oh, did he? Well, I'm not as familiar with MLP, so... Funny thing, I've only seen, like, 4 episodes. 2 of them I've only had to see because
Josh.
Yeah, because Josh.
Can we get back on topic, please?
Yes.
You were talking about Bill.
That's really all I have to say. Just, I think he's a really funny villain, a really creepy villain, and it just kind of blends well together for me.
Who do you think would win in a being cheap match? Mr. Krabs or Grunkle Stan? Like a cheapskate match.
I'd say Mr. Krabs because, especially since Flanderization really kicked in.
Ugh.
Like, Grunkle Stan at least has a heart. At least this is from what I'm hearing. I haven't really been following modern SpongeBob, but I hear Mr. Krabs' cheapskate tendencies get amplified to an nth degree. So it's like, I can't not say Mr. Krabs.
Oh, okay. Do you have a favorite line from the show?
From Gravity Falls?
And Steven Universe, like both of them.
Well, from Gravity Falls, I'd say, like, the ones, like, okay, just everything Bill says, I will quote with his voice. Like, it's funny how dumb you are. Or, oh wow, that's a great offer. How about instead I rearrange the functions of every hole in your face? And then, like, although I love one from Grunkle Stan.
Avenge me, kids! Avenge me!
My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better. It's funny because marriage is terrible.
Oh god, that's
so. For Steven Universe, in terms of favorite lines, I don't know. Like, it's harder for me to say for that one in particular, but I will say I got chills in the episode Earthlings where Jasper, right before she's corrupted, is like, my diamond, your diamond, pink diamond. That was just chilling, I thought.
Okay. Funny thing that I actually heard. Funny thing that I actually put a post on. That Pink Diamond actually corrupted. That's why Rose Quartz had to shatter her.
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
I don't know if that's true or not, but what do you think?
I'm sure there's probably something more to that. At least, I don't know. I'm absolutely sure she's shattered. But there's got to be something more to it.
Yeah, I'm still going with the whole being corrupted thing.
Plus, we don't know what the deal is with Lion, how Rose Quartz suddenly had 7 lions in that episode of Buddy's book.
Oh, yeah.
So, I still feel like there's a lot more backstory. I don't know what it is, but, like, I think after the whole, like, the only thing I was really able to predict was that Steven was going to end up, like, fighting enemies that he couldn't reason with. Apart from that, the game is open now. I have no idea from a storytelling perspective where they're going to go next, and that excites me.
Do you have a favorite anime?
Well, I actually just finished watching the original Full Metal Alchemist, and right now I'm going through Brotherhood. Although, in terms of other favorites, like, I don't really have an exact favorite because I haven't watched so many anime, but I love Kill la Kill. I love Persona 4, the animation.
Oh, those are pretty good. I watched them. Except for the fan service. That one. Except for the fan service in Kill la Kill. Ugh. Come on, it's just trying to be softcore porn for some reason.
At this point, after a while, I didn't mind it. It was just kind of like, it just kind of happened. It happened so much that it just kind of lost, like, all its shock value to me. In terms of anime movies, I love Spirited Away.
I love that. I watched that when I was in school.
Nice.
I'm in college right now at Seneca.
Nice. And what's it called? The Persona 3 movies are incredible.
Yeah, they are. Do you watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
No.
Why?
Because I haven't gotten, like, for whatever reason, I just, like...
You try to watch it, but it somehow doesn't click with you.
Yeah, it hasn't really clicked with me for whatever reason, which is odd, because, like, technically, with regards to Fiona Frightening, they're in the same cast as me. I'm Facebook friends with Antfish and Megami33. And what's it called? Like, I don't know, I just, like, I feel like it's something I should be watching more, but I just haven't gotten really invested in for whatever reason.
Josh, like...
I'm sure it's really good, like, I know it's really good. Like, I've seen a few episodes of it, and they're funny. It's just, I haven't actually put in the effort to actually continue it. And there's also the fact that I was never really a fan of Dragon Ball Z to begin with.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna piss off a bunch of people.
Oh yeah, people were not happy when I didn't include that on nostalgic animated shows. Like it was a show that I watched when I was a kid, but
it didn't really click with you.
It didn't really. Well, here's the thing: it clicked with me for a while, and then it took forever for them to get to Super Saiyan Goku, and I was just like,
get on with it.
Like, I was kind of bored with it after a while, which, like, because there's a lot of imagination in it, and it's like I've heard Dragon Ball Z Kai is a lot. Like, it cuts out a lot of the filler. But at the same time, a lot of filler in anime can be entertaining. Like, even FMA had some okay filler, although some of it, like, the moment where Al runs away from Ed.
You mean
really
which time? The one with the cat inside him, or something else?
When he was convinced that he was an artificial person. So, like, that kind of got under my skin, and I was like, oh, come on, you're just using this as an opportunity to make another episode. I just thought it was kind of silly.
But filler can be bad as well. Death Note.
Like, filler can be bad and filler can be good. Like, there was a lot of filler in Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, which I've seen, and I thought it was entertaining filler.
I know, but didn't you hear me with the whole cough?
Yeah, Death Note. I've never seen it.
Way too creepy and really crappy ending. That's it. Anyway, is there anything that you're working on right now?
Yes.
Besides the Fiona Frightening thing.
I am actually working on a new Hades riff.
Yay, Hades!
I'm not, like, here's the thing. There are a few things I've got planned with Hades. There's a collab I'm doing with Zelda Universe.
Okay.
And where I basically, you know the Palutena's guidance things?
Yeah.
From Super Smash Bros. For Wii U?
Let me guess, you're doing your own version, but instead of Palutena, it's Hades.
Basically, it's Zelda Universe employed me to do some Hades stuff for them as Hades Misguidance. It's basically just making fun of all the fighters, which should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get started on that.
Okay.
And the Hades riff itself, the new Hades riff I'm doing, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but for Canadians, it should be very nostalgic.
Okay. Do you watch Death Battle?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you recently watch the previews for the newer ones coming out next week?
If you wouldn't mind tilting the camera a bit.
Oh, sorry. Did you see the previews for the ones coming next week, Tracer vs. Scout?
No, I haven't seen the preview for it, but there's been a lot of debate about who's going to win. Like, some said, like, Tracer's a lot stronger. Some say that Scout's got the speed. I don't know too much about either, so I couldn't say for sure.
I don't really care. I don't really care, to be honest.
All right.
But what was your favorite cameo to do? Like, what was your favorite cameo to do? And don't say Countdown on a Motorcycle. Everybody said
Well, that wasn't even my favorite to begin with.
Okay, because that's pretty
I
obvious.
don't know, like, I've made a lot of. Oh, I know exactly the one. Josh's top 10 stupid awesome video games. Hades invading the credits.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Like, ever since I've started working closer with Josh on his countdowns, like, we've kind of made it a thing to include me in some capacity. And, like, did you see that there's a new countdown out today?
Yeah, it's top 10 educational games.
Yeah, that was another one where I had a lot of fun doing a cameo for that.
I liked it. I've seen it.
Nice. So, that was another fun cameo, and I edited the intro for that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd definitely say the Hades cameo at the end of the Stupid Awesome Games was my favorite.
Do you have any like favorite live action shows that isn't Twin Peaks?
Yes, plenty actually. I just finished watching Stranger Things, which is wonderful. And I'm glad that they're releasing a second season for it.
Okay.
I love Fringe, which is my favorite science fiction series.
I thought it'd be X-Files.
Honestly, I think Fringe is a better X-Files. Because unlike the X-Files, Fringe had a lot better character resolution, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
And it actually ended on a good note. The X-Files has had, like, ending after ending, and they bring it back, and it's kind of like a zombie at this point.
Yeah.
And the first seasons of the X-Files are wonderful, so I'd also say the X-Files, but I think I prefer Fringe. Also, Breaking Bad and The Sopranos are wonderful, too. Also, Game of Thrones.
I don't like Game of Thrones, to be honest.
It's not for everybody, I'll fully admit. Like, even the fifth season of Game of Thrones, I actually quit halfway through because there was a moment that was too awful.
No, it's not because I don't like it. It's just because I don't have HBO.
Oh.
Plus, it doesn't really click with me. Like whole sword and sorcery thing. I've seen it before, and it's done better.
Okay.
Anyway, one last question.
All right.
Let's see. What was it like working with Linkara for the Fiona Fighting game?
Well, I've only spoken to him in Skype calls once, and not very much. The most I've seen of him is just at Con Bravo. I've run into him a few times and spoken to him, and then just one or two Skype calls for a few promotional things. But really, that's about it.
Okay.
I haven't been really in contact with him, so I mean, I'd like to, but you know what? You can't always get what you want.
Do you have a message to your fans and to Josh?
To my fans, thank you for sticking with me, even though I've been really inconsistent with things, just always trying to reinvent myself,